That's my money. That's my food budget for a whole week.
Tony Brumfeld has used credit unions most of his adult life. He appreciates their customer service and connection to the community. So he was surprised when I told him credit unions chartered in California collected over $250 million last year in overdraft fees.
You think of them as being a local service to the community, and they're not supposed to be in this for making the big buck. They're supposed to just be making ends meet, like the rest of us.
Customers are hit with an overdraft fee when they make a purchase and their checking account doesn't have enough money to cover it. Consumer advocates, fiscal watchdogs, and even members of Congress have heavily criticized big commercial banks for the billions they collect in overdraft fees. And turns out it's big business for credit unions, too. Last year, credit unions chartered in California brought in $250 million in revenue through overdraft penalties, according to a KPBS analysis of data collected by the state.
Regulators should treat overdraft as the five-alarm fire that it has burning through low-income communities and families living paycheck to paycheck.
Aaron Klein is a senior fellow at the Brookings Institution, a D.C.-based think tank. He says overdraft fees are nearly pure profit for financial institutions and disproportionately impact customers living paycheck to paycheck. For years, big banks have had to disclose revenue from overdraft fees. But Klein says credit unions, which are technically not-for-profit businesses, have avoided this requirement.
Credit unions have largely escaped scrutiny on overdraft by a combination of wrapping themselves in the good guy flag as a nonprofit, mission-oriented entity, and by not releasing data to the public.
That is until this year in California, after lawmakers passed the first law in the country requiring the disclosure of overdraft fee revenue from state-chartered financial institutions. San Diego County Credit Union ranked second highest among the state's 100-plus credit unions, collecting $18 million in overdraft fees last year. That's surprising for a credit union that has long marketed itself as the anti-big bank. For years, the credit union ran a series of ads hammering greedy banks and their excessive fees.
Hi, I'd like to open a checking account.
Money?
The bankers in the ads could only say one word.
Right?
Money, money, money.
The campaign underscores its message in the end.
Money?
We're nothing like a big bank. We're better.
San Diego County Credit Union declined an interview request and did not respond to multiple follow-up inquiries. Other, smaller credit unions collected less in overdraft fees, but that revenue made up a substantial portion of their income. Consider Oceanside-based Front Wave Credit Union. They collected nearly $8 million in overdraft fees last year. That amounted to 12% of the company's overall income and 140% of its net income. In other words, Front Wave easily could have lost money last year without revenue from overdraft fees.
We call it a service. We don't call it a fee.
Bill Burney is the CEO of Front Wave. He says many Front Wave members rely on overdrafts at the end of the month as a bridge before their next payday. The credit union has rebranded it as Courtesy Pay. Front Wave charges $20 per overdraft up to 5 times a day for each negative balance purchase. That means a Front Wave customer could be hit with $100 in fees in one day.
So it is an important source of income to us. I just don't think we do it in a predatory way.
Consumer watchdogs aren't buying this argument. Kiara O'Laughlin is a researcher and policy advocate at the San Diego-based Center on Policy Initiatives. She says overdraft fees are inherently onerous, even if they're rebranded to sound like a benefit.
I would say any business or organization that's profiting off of exploiting other folks' vulnerabilities is not helping people, it's hurting people.
The scrutiny on big banks has made a difference. In the last few years, they've reformed their overdraft fee policies. Some allow repayment grace periods, while others have done away with the fees altogether. It's unclear if credit unions plan to do the same anytime soon. Scott Rodd, KPBS News.